Hi everybody, I hope you all had a great week. Thanks for tuning in, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about our thoughts and mindfulness. Many years ago, I'm going to say 15, 20 years ago, I took a mindfulness course. Mindfulness is basically being aware moment to moment. And one thing that has helped me get through challenging times as a mom, whether I'm dealing with my son with his issues or my daughter, one thing that really helped is being aware of my thoughts. We all have thoughts. We have like 60 to 100,000 thoughts a day. And, like I said, we only have control over what we do, our actions, and how we react to things. And when you talk about reacting to things, it has a lot to do with our thoughts. Our thoughts, they put us in a mood. They are, if we have happy thoughts, we'll be happy. If we're concerned and worried, we create stories that may never happen, and it just, for me, it's exhausting. I want to bring your attention to, something that maybe you're worried about something. Like I know, like if Ben was missing, there were times when he was missing, I didn't know where he was. So I would catch myself spiraling my thoughts. I would create these stories in my mind, like where could he be? Could he be in a ditch? Is he hurt? Is he alive? All those thoughts, and it would be so debilitating because I would be worrying. But thankfully, because I was aware of my thoughts and the stories I created in my mind, I was able to turn that switch off. And how I did that was, instead of going to my thoughts, I would look at what is the reality. Okay, the reality is I don't know where Ben is. That's it. I don't know where he is. It could be for a number of reasons. And, I could create other reasons as to why I can't get a hold of him. And I'm saying this because, our first instinct as a parent or, a friend or a loved one is to go to the dark side because we worry. Worry are stories we create that may never come to fruition. What it does is that it exhausts you. You start to spiral. And in the end, you are so exhausted that if something did come to fruition, like something did happen, you would be so exhausted you wouldn't be able to deal with the situation. So my advice is to be aware of your thoughts, not to allow it to spiral. I think back, my daughter, many, many years ago, she was in elementary school. One night, I was tucking her in to bed, and she was pretty anxious, and I spoke to her, and she said she was really nervous because she had a test the next day, and she had a stomach ache, and it truly affected her. So I actually did a meditation. I didn't call it a meditation back then, but I was showing her how her thoughts are affecting her body, because worry, they say stress is the silent killer. Well, your thoughts can stress you out to the point where you can actually physically feel it, whether it's the butterflies in your stomach. So what I did is I asked her to close her eyes. Oh, first of all, I said, well, did you study? And she said, yeah, I studied as much as I can. I said, well, you did everything that you can do to prepare for this test. So now her thoughts are getting a hold of her with the worry and the concern. So I had her close her eyes, and I said, okay, now think of something that makes you happy. Playing hockey, things that you love, like your mom or your dad, ice cream, and I would just list off things that bring joy to her life. And while she's lying there with her eyes closed, I could see a smile appear on her face. And so after a few minutes, I had her open her eyes, and I asked her how she felt, and she goes, good. And she didn't have the butterflies anymore. And I explained to her, see, that you did that by your thoughts, by what you were thinking. When you have a test, you can only prepare so much for that test. And once that's done, that's done. Now you can get your thoughts to tell you, well, maybe you should have studied more, or maybe you should have done that, and then you could just escalate in your own head. Or you could think of happy thoughts, think I did everything I can, and I'm good to go. Thoughts can also limit you, because then you could say, well, I can't do this test, I can't, and that just puts limitations on you, and it exhausts you. So, think happy thoughts. Be in the reality, be in the moment. We worry because we want our kids to be healthy and happy. But, I go back to, what can you control? You can control your actions and your reactions. Best way to help your kids is to be in a good state of mind. Be aware of your thoughts. Be aware of the stories that you create in your mind. So many times my thoughts, I've had to stop them when Ben was out of control in the past. And even to this day, I still have thoughts if he doesn't answer the phone. But I quickly go back to, okay, stop the thoughts, stop creating stories. I'm sure I will hear from him, and go on with my life. And 9 times out of 10, it's unnecessary worry. Worry is a waste of energy. Worry is thoughts in your mind. Worry are stories we create. So be aware of your thoughts. Be mindful, and that will get you through stressful situations. And this is good in your job, in your family life. Just be aware of your thoughts, and stop creating those stories that spiral out of control. Anyway, that is my lesson for today. Your thoughts versus reality. Keep your thoughts present, open, and be aware. I wish you all a great week. I wish you all continued spirit to live. Feel free to share, subscribe, like, comment, and remember, where there is breath, there is hope. Thank you. Have a great week, everybody.